they will have to cancel the golden visa. If a person is buying outside his or her country, there are a lot of questions that they have. The land department doesn't allow a foreign entity to own an asset over here. It has to be held by a domestic company, a UAE-based company. They can 100% be the owners of the corporation. The 9% corporate tax, it's on your companies. It's not on individual.
Okay.
Individual tax, personal tax is still zero. There is no VAT between free zone to free zone.
Should you purchase property in Dubai through a corporation or a business? We're going to address that today on the Dubai Connect podcast. Zeba Majithia to answer these questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Gigi. We love being over here.
Well,
I
thank
love
you.
it, and I'm sure everybody else loves
Thank
being
you.
here.
Well, I'm honored because I believe that one of the main differentiators that I think sets my company apart in what I'm doing is that I'm able to provide answers beyond just purchasing a property.
100%. You're
Right?
just not doing a sale. You're building a relation, right?
And helping them through the post-sales process to be able to strategically make the best decisions as they build the
Absolutely.
portfolio.
100%. Because especially if a person is buying outside his or her country, there are a lot of questions that they have, and you're addressing all of that in absolutely the best way.
Thank you. And a huge part that you're one of my secret weapons. Honestly,
I love that word.
because I mean, you worked in banking, right? Well, share actually a little bit more about your background. I mean, people can go to my previous podcast to know about you, but share a little bit about your history here.
Sure. So I'm obviously Zeba Majithia, been in banking for over 10 years, worked in banks like HSBC and Emirates NBD, both extremely strong banks. Started my career with a bank called Yes Bank, which nobody in India would know at that point of time that there was a bank named Yes Bank, including my mom, because I was one of the first lot that joined the bank.
Okay.
This was back in 2006, and it was just funny, but amazing bank. And I quit 3 years ago and started up my own firm, which is into consultancy. So what we essentially do is we guide clients for their corporate services like opening companies, incorporating companies, banking, golden visas, wills, accountancy. That's what we do.
And being that you have a history in banking,
Yeah.
you're obviously very immersed in the real estate world here. You deal with global investors, particularly, right? The majority, I would say, probably
100%, yeah.
yeah, global. So then I believe that you are really positioned to answer the question. First of all, this was on her quiz yesterday in one of our little sessions. Can someone in the United States purchase a property in Dubai through their corporation in the US?
So no, you cannot, because the land department doesn't allow a foreign entity to own an asset over here. It has to be held by a domestic company, a UAE-based company, which could be 100% owned by the person, or it could be owned 100% by an international company. That's allowed. Again, why? Because we don't know what is happening at the international level. What if there's a shareholding pattern structure change or anything of that, or activity change, or the company becomes diluted over a period of time? We don't know what happens. So in that case, UAE has just allowed their domestic companies to be the first layer as owners, and then of course you could have another entity on top.
And that's true to anywhere, not just US. So nowhere in the world. So now let's go to the next question then. Most of my clients are investors. And they're purchasing off-plan projects. Can a foreigner then open a corporation here in the UAE?
Yes, absolutely. They can 100% be the owners of the corporation, unlike how it was earlier, where mainland companies had to have a local as a 51% shareholder. Now they can 100% own the company, could be a mainland free zone company either. And then they could buy a property vis-a-vis that company. Possible.
And do they have to be here to start that company?
Absolutely not. We can do everything remotely. So, Gigi, what we tell our clients is that always get your groundwork right. Okay, it's like baby steps, right? You don't go directly to XYZ. So if there is something which you know that you have to buy it from a corporate structure, first get the corporate structure in place and then you buy a property.
So now would be the reason why somebody should purchase a property in the name of a corporation? Is there a dollar amount, a property amount, quantity before you feel that it's important for someone to set up a corporation to purchase?
Absolutely not. You
Okay.
can, even if the property is under 1 million, you can very well set up, because it's not stopping you, or it's not capping you that if you have X amount of property, then only you form a company. Absolutely not.
But then where is that sweet spot where you suggest that they do it? At what point do you think, yes, Gigi, let's advise this client to start their corporation before they purchase?
Okay, so for some clients, what happens, Gigi, is that they prefer to do it from their corporate structure.
Okay.
Reason is because world over, corporate tax is still higher than, it's still lower than personal tax. So when whatever amounts that they're receiving in the company, a lot of them do not take in their personal name over there. They would leave it in their corporate, in their company, because they've already paid tax. The moment they shift it from the company to their personal, they end up paying tax. So now in this case, if this company wants to buy a property, right, they can directly, so sometimes they don't, because they directly as a foreign company cannot buy an asset over here, they would register another company over here, which then would buy a property under that name, which we discussed in the beginning. Second is, it also helps them for asset protection, better taxation. Right. The only disadvantage that is there is that tomorrow they can't get a golden visa basis that particular property, because it's held on a corporate name, and as per the golden visa rules, where property is concerned, it needs to be held in a person's name.
How long does the process take to open a business here? If my client's in America, they're going to purchase in the next week or two. Is that enough time to be able to create a corporation?
Absolutely. It could be a few hours to maximum a week.
Okay.
Super fast, yeah.
Great. And can you share with us, I know taxes were about a year and a half ago that the UAE started to incorporate a corporate tax, which is still less than
less.
the majority of the world's top markets. But what is it, 9%? At what amount? What income amount?
Okay. So first of all, the 9% corporate tax, it's on your companies. It's not on individual.
Okay.
Individual tax, personal tax is still 0. Now, if the company makes a profit over 375,000 dirhams or $100,000, that's when they pay the excess amount. On the excess amount, they pay at 9% as your corporate tax. Okay. However, there are a lot of exceptions. Like if it's a small, medium business, for example, their turnover is below 3 million. There are a lot of exemptions which are granted.
Okay.
So literally, it could mean that your corporate structure is paying negligible or no corporate tax.
Okay. Great to know. And I don't know if we have enough time to answer this. What is the difference between all the free zones?
Okay. So first of all, we have over 50 free zones in UAE.
A lot.
Yeah.
What is a free zone?
So a free zone is, so in a nutshell, or in simple language, if I explain it to you, right, where your mainland company was concerned, at a point you required a local to be there on the license.
And honestly, this is still a misconception, Zeba, in the United States. People still don't realize that you can start a company here, own it 100%, no longer having a sponsor.
100%. So earlier, mainland, what was happening is you had to have a local company as the owner or as the shareholder. So at 51%, and the foreign expat had to be at 49%. A lot of people were not comfortable with that. So what the government did is, and also to develop a few pockets, which were not popular, they made these free zones. They made free zones in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Ras Al Khaimah, all these places, right? These pockets were given advantage over a mainland in terms of 100% ownership by a foreigner was allowed. There is no VAT between free zone to free zone. So if you're trading and if you're qualified for VAT, but however, if it's happening within the free zones, you don't pay that VAT. So all these advantages were given to for free zones. Now, which one is better? You can't really say which one is better. They all are great. They all do the work. We are more partial to Dubai free zones because they're super fast, but we work with all free zones.
But is it free zone, the differentiator is what the project is or what the company is? For example, I want to start a jewelry brand.
Yeah.
Is that a certain free zone then that I go to? Or what is...
A great question. So now what happens is, see, For example, if you want to start a jewelry brand, you'd ideally want to be towards where your peers are, right? Because it's just your market is over there. So you would keep it towards those free zones, which is your DMCC. Or if you want to have something which is into pharmaceuticals,
Okay.
you'd be there in healthcare city. Although
okay,
it's
so
not
the free zones are more the area.
yeah.
Is that, I mean, I'm still
It
trying
is an area. These are areas, 100%.
Right.
Okay. And some of them have a high concentration of a particular industry. For example, if you say about DAVSA, they would want to have where the logistic companies are. Logistic
Okay.
companies would want to be there because it's ease. They have their office over there, plus whatever logistics are happening, it's close to them. So those are more specific. Yes, but then you have other free zones like your Maidan or your IFZA, which are very general. So you could have you could be dealing into anything and have your business set up over there.
But those still have to be applicable to that 9% corporate above the.
All of them are
All of
applicable.
them are.
Mainland,
Okay.
free zone, offshore, all are applicable to
Okay.
9%.
And obviously, if my clients come to you,
Yeah.
that's part of what you do is help guide them and strategize on where to set which free zone to set up,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, and you can do this all virtually.
Absolutely. Today, Zoom has become so important and essential.
So thank you for answering.
You are most welcome.
I think in a nutshell, what I'm understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, you cannot purchase a property in Dubai through a corporation outside of the UAE.
Correct. Correct.
You can, as a foreigner,
Yes.
open a business and a corporation in the UAE.
Yep.
Virtually.
If any of your clients have already bought a property and then they realize that they want to buy it via a corporate structure and say and they haven't registered the property, they bought it in the personal name. So you could actually request the developer not to do the registration at that time, okay, but to have it registered once the company is incorporated.
Okay, Zeba, let's say I already have a client.
Yeah.
You know how launches go here, right? When you're talking top tier developers, we don't have time to sit. Let's talk to Zeba. Let's figure out if you want to start a corporation. Khalas, you've
units
lost
get
your
sold.
chance.
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
so let's say the booking has already been created.
Yeah.
But then do I have time then to help them? What do I do at that point if we already want to book this unit?
Say if the client has signed up the booking form
Okay.
and has paid the token amount, right?
Okay.
You can obviously request the developer to keep it on hold, okay? That the client would like to buy the property from the company name. Meanwhile, you get the client started for the company incorporation process. We finish it really fast. Once the company is incorporated, they can very well have the property registered in their company name. So developers are happy to wait during that bit because they know how fast the processes are, and then they can have a property via the company.
Okay, then I'm going to ask another question. What if they've already completed their purchase? What about all my clients who've already purchased but don't have a corporation? Can they transfer their
100%. They can.
Great.
So it is, for example, if say it's owned by Mr. John for simplicity
Okay.
purpose. Now John sets up a corporation, right, which is 100% owned by John. In that case, he can transfer it. Okay, land department allows that, but
Okay.
he will have to pay a stamp duty or a transfer charge or your DLD charge.
What is the transfer tax
Yeah.
if they're transferring it from their name into their own corporation?
0.125%. It's nothing.
Amazing. Now, another question though. If they had the golden visa tied to that property and now they're transferring it into a corporation, what happens to the golden visa?
Okay, so they will have to cancel the golden visa or transfer the golden visa to another property.
So then that's in the scenario where someone owns, let's just say they own one
Yeah.
project
Yeah.
that's worth at 2 million dirham.
Yeah.
At that point, if they make the decision to transfer that into a corporation, then they do lose their golden visa.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
Okay. So those are important advantages and disadvantages to understand, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Zeba.
Thank you, Gigi.
Thank you not only for being a guest on the Dubai Connect podcast, but being incredibly responsive with all my investors because, as I mentioned before, I think you're my secret tool and weapon that differentiates my offering for global investors to not just purchase a property, but be able to strategically build a portfolio,
Absolutely.
minimize their taxes,
Yeah.
protect their assets here, create the golden visa, open a bank account,
Yep.
right? So all of the financial concierge needs are provided by you.
Yes, we try hard.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I hope that you were able to gather some information and answers to questions you've been asking. If you have more questions, feel free to send away. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and stay tuned for the next episode of the Dubai Connect podcast. Until then, happy investing.